Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
While he runs it.
What's up?
I love it, Dave. Let me in.
Let me in. It's a professional operation we run here. I'm just glad I managed to start the stream and not play like multiple versions of we're starting the stream soon and this is the disclaimer over one another like I did last time.
Yeah.
How y'all
Got a
doing?
hitch.
Yeah.
Good.
So pro.
For some reason I can't hear you guys.
Oh,
We can hear you.
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Can the audience hear me okay?
Can the audience hear us?
Is it just a problem on Dave's end, I hope?
Josh Perry, can you hear us? I feel like Josh is always in the chat. Like Josh,
mark twice if you're in
hear us?
Milwaukee. Yeah, we had a big win in over Detroit yesterday.
Oh, that was epic. It was awesome. Such a good game.
Oh,
Here we go. Can you hear us, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear
Can
you.
you hear us?
Good.
I know we need Paul.
Awesome.
He's the IT expert.
Okay. Harley says they can hear us.
He sent me a picture of some of the food he's been eating in Miami. I think the last thing on his mind right now is the live stream. He's having a good time.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
Sam.
Cuban food.
Love it.
Yeah, he deserves it. Good for him.
Yeah,
Good for him.
he rarely takes. He's taken more vacations in the past couple of years than he has like since I've known him. Just like he's finally arrived at a point where he can do it, and his wife loves to go on vacation. So it's good for him though. He needs to. Otherwise, he'd just work and never stop working. That would be his life.
So what's happening, everybody? How you guys doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm freezing. It's well below zero here in Denver this morning, but the sun is shining. So I'm pretending like I'm in Miami with Paul.
Nice. Yeah, we're gonna get dumped on. We're gonna get dumped on tonight with snow. So does not sound like fun.
Yeah, what is it, like 6 to 8?
Yep.
We got maybe 5 or 6 inches yesterday, but when it gets like well below zero, the snow kind of stops. You know, it can't really snow that much when it's that cold.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do
No
we-
complaints.
Did we lose Colin?
He's frozen. Yep.
Oh no.
And like if I could take a screenshot, I would, because that's an amazing freeze. You know what? Like there actually is something. You missed it.
Just missed it.
He's never letting us. Paul's never letting us do this again.
Yeah, I know. First
Right.
problems. Oh man.
But
Yeah.
how's your off season going?
It's going well. It is a struggle. I don't know if you guys have been watching my videos lately. I have been dealing with some I call it rapid. It's not really rapid. So I'm like 15-ish weeks into my off season. And I only just in the last 3 weeks, like really had some like notable weight increases.
Yeah.
Up until then my last stage weight was really low. So I'm sitting about 15 pounds above that stage weight, but yes, I can look back at it now and be like, I looked like a starved baby deer. I was too lean, but man, did I love being that lean. So it's been hard to let go of that. And I don't know if Dave and Jackie, if you guys have dealt with this too, but things like the way my body feels with the weight, which is so weird. Things like my thighs touch again, and like my butt touches the back of my thigh when and like even just standing, it's like an uncomfortable feeling that but it's good because I can also not reach back and grab both of my butt cheeks with one hand anymore. So I'm trying to see the positives of it. But do you guys feel that? Like it's not even the weight, it's the way it feels on you that you notice.
Yeah, well, for me, so it's kind of the opposite. In prep, I find it very weird when I start to feel things that I'm not used to. So I like having
Like
body weight
bones.
on me. Yeah, just like, and like certain muscles too. I'm just like, I didn't even know I had that, There's just weird things sometimes that weird me out.
Yeah.
But no, I like off season. I'm enjoying it. I like to have some weight on me. Where I come from a very small place, leaning out is actually typically tougher for me. Well, it used to be when I didn't have as much muscle, but now I actually enjoy it more. But when I came from being so skinny, I didn't like leaning out because I felt like I was losing my progress from gaining all the weight, you know? So
Yeah. How much, I mean, just on average, how much do you gain in your off season? Like just up
well,
from stage?
What were you on stage?
well, so when I first started, it was very different. Like obviously, yeah, you're gaining a lot more. Now in my off season, so I was 130 on stage, and right now I'm 140. So
It's like 10 pounds.
yeah.
Yeah, for us, for myself as a guy though, it's totally different because like our weight goes up in such big chunks so quickly. So like when you say like, yeah, it's a weird feeling, it certainly is when you put on, 20 pounds in the first month. So it's a little different for me. I try to just get used to it. It's part of the game, get that rebound effect where you just instantly put on 20 pounds. It feels like effortlessly, just, with not much food. And, but in the sense, like, it's not like you grew 20 pounds, just inflating your muscle back, get the glycogen load back, and you feel it. Sometimes it's like, oh, cool, you look great in the mirror, you look huge. But sometimes it's like, I feel like I grew 20 pounds in 4 weeks, and it's not always a pleasant feeling for sure.
Yeah. I had someone ask on one of my videos recently, and it was such a good question. Ask if I was afraid that, or if I ever had the fear that when I went to cut again, that the weight wouldn't come off. And I think that it's such a good question because I think it does kind of get in your head, like, well, what if I can't do this again? Like, what if it's just back forever, And yeah.
I never worry about that because we all know diet is the key. So it's gonna work.
Yeah.
I never.
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that I never worry about that part, but I can understand where people could think that way for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I think probably the more, I think people who have maybe been overweight for extended periods of time might have that fear that like, wow, what if it all just comes back? And I did tell this person, like, I've had a dream / nightmare before that I mean, usually that I'm also pale. I'm also not tan in this dream. That I'm like totally out of shape for stage.
Yeah.
Like that I'm there and I'm like, what happened? And I'm like in my bikini and like just pale and not in shape.
Yeah.
I know the pale ruins everything. I'm like, I need a tan.
It does. And like, especially this deep into winter, I'm like, I blend in with white walls right now. Like it is, I am pale.
I don't know. I kind of rest assured that like I've dropped in my fitness journey, I guess you'd say, over the past 10 years, I've dropped 80 pounds, 3 different occasions. So
That's
like
incredible.
Yeah, so like I'm kind of, from different reasons, I mean, obviously calories and food, but just with my alcohol in the past, that plays a factor. But I guess it's a little relieving because I know even if I was to put on 80 pounds that have to come off, it's possible. It'll come off. It's allowing that amount of time to get it done. For me, it was always like, am I ever going to be able to be stage shredded though, stage lean? So when I first got into bodybuilding, it was, you just always want to be lean and get lean. It was never lean enough. And so, yeah, there's a lot of mental games that you can play on yourself. But the reality is if you kind of just step back and look, you've already done it, Amy. You've already been able to get yourself stage ready and then past that for sure. So, I mean, I wouldn't really worry about it as long as you get, I hate the expression like, have faith in the plan or whatever, or just
trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. But it's true. Like if you have a game plan and you execute it, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's, as long as body composition is staying good through your off season, like I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, it's going to get easier.
Yeah.
I feel like trust the processes for the first time. You've done it. Now you get to trust yourself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We believe in you.
Yeah. That's
What's up,
basically
Lucas?
what I said to her was, you got to have, like, I know I've done it before. So like, you just have to rely on like that past experience. Just know that you can trust your body and it's going to do what it's going to do what it needs to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone say, what's up from Poland? Did I see
Yeah.
that? Flash
Yeah.
up
Lucas
there?
from Poland.
Yeah. Lucas is always on.
Yeah. He's
Oh, awesome.
What's up, man?
It's probably just as cold there as it is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying what with the wind chill? What is it, Amy? Where you're at?
About 17 below, and that's
Oh my
Fahrenheit.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like, what, 5 degrees all next week.
Mm,
Awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going to be super motivating to go to the gym.
Right. Oh, I know. Like that is the hard part when it's dark and like
Yeah.
I said this to Colin before we were on the stream. Like winter's just it's inconvenient. There's just a lot of stuff. Like
I know.
hats and coats and scarves and boots. Like it's so much stuff to have to like do before you walk out the door.
Yeah. I know. I really hope it's not this cold when we all go the Arnold. I hate packing for colder weather.
Columbus in Ohio in February, is it?
Yeah, the very
February,
end of
March.
February going into March.
Oh
Yeah.
goodness.
So
Yeah.
Like what was Arnold thinking? Oh, did you guys see that the Arnold amateur is going to be on the main stage? So we're going to get to see Aaron on like the big stage.
That's
even though he's in
fucking
the
awesome.
amateur.
Cool.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's Thursday.
so
right?
excited.
Yeah,
It's
we're gonna
Thursday.
go up
Yep.
to see him. Go up early to see him.
There you
Speaking
go.
of Aaron, I think he's in the waiting room right now.
Oh, Jesus, I'm so fucking bad at this job.
Hey!
What's
Look
up, man?
at that. He's there.
Yeah.
It would have been. It would have
Yeah,
been.
your
waiting there a
ears were
while.
ringing.
Summoned him.
I'm sorry.
What's up, Aaron? How's prep going?
Going great. Hit a new low today, actually. I woke up, had a good night's sleep last night. And 250. I haven't been 250 in a long time, actually. So it's exciting with the new added size to get back down to that weight. Just is nice. Things are moving along in the right direction, that's for sure. So, I mean, now, like with the pressure of the main stage at the Arnold, I'm like, I got to get diced.
Yeah.
I can't stand on that stage and not look awesome. So, yeah, I'm super excited and feeling good. Everything's grooving along really well. I was just listening to you guys because I was in the waiting room for like 10 minutes waiting.
Nice job, Colin.
Well, I mean, yeah, he hit a new low. He's very lean. I can barely see him now. He's all slim. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, man. Okay, I see Ryan.
Right.
Got him right away.
That's right.
He's got seniority over you, Aaron. I'm sorry.
Dude. But yeah, I was just listening to you guys talk about like that how it feels when you're putting on that quick post show weight and things like that, right? And sometimes it feels great, you look awesome, and you just feel like your body's coming back to life. Sometimes it's like you feel that weight, and it's like, oh, this is slowing me down. So I think for me, it's exactly the same now. So preps are for me like looking at scale weight during a prep just messes with my head. All I think is I'm getting small, I'm getting too small. And I know that's just bodybuilder dysmorphia, but this time round, one of the main things, like sat there talking with Jared, having a chat with Kurt as well, it's like I don't even pay attention to the scale. Like the scale, like write it down and send it to, and just put it in your notes just so you can see how things are tracking. But he's like, just that is irrelevant for you right now for this prep. I've got to get out of that mindset of being scared to get to a certain weight. He said, you're going to look 20, 30 pounds bigger if you get that, 5-10% sharper than you were last time, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a little bit of a mental reset as far as the mental approach to that, because I enjoy being big. We all enjoy that nice, big, full, high day look. I like the high day look every day. Like, not just like once every 5 days. Just really, really embracing that sort of flatness and just understanding that the end result will be worth it.
Yeah.
And that's the big one for me. Like getting big post show rebounds and stuff like that. I love it.
Yeah.
I just feel system, like obviously you get a little fluffy, you lose a little bit of that sharpness, but we know that's just a short diet away. You can get right back there within weeks in reality.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I feel like people let the scale into their mind way too much, because I try to remember like what Paul always says too. is that like the judges, when you get on that stage, the judges, they're not pulling out a scale, first of all, before you get on stage, unless you're checking in for a weight class. But when you're actually on stage being evaluated, they don't really care what you weigh. You know, compare somebody to like John Jewett stepping up next to like Akeem, right? Like there's 20 pounds difference of real muscle, but there's some shots where they look comparable, you know, in size for sure. And it's that illusion.
Great example. When like we were all sat there watching the Olympia, right? Did anyone at any stage think about the weight when you were actually there watching it?
Right.
Nope.
I've come to think of it, there was not a second in my mind where I was like, I wonder how much he weighs.
Yeah.
You're just looking at the physiques, and that's it. And then then Martin creeping up into that sort of top.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the lightest on stage.
That's right. If they said like the weight when people came out, it would almost be weird. Like we don't need that. We don't need to know. We just need to know how they look on the stage and how they look, you know, next to the other guys.
Right? Did they used to do that before, like the lead up to the shows? They used to do people's stats.
Did they?
Well, they have more of a weigh-in. Yeah, they had like a more theatrical kind of like weigh-in, I believe, on some shows, especially the Olympia.
Like I know they would put it on like a whatever they call it, like the banner.
Yeah,
I forget what they call those things. But I don't know if they would like say it out loud, like, you know, announce it.
Right. I think it was like maybe their intro, like when they're introducing them into the press conference, maybe or something.
Right,
like
right.
I remember it was around.
But yeah, like when it comes time to just like judge people on stage against one another, it's immaterial.
Yeah,
exactly.
And, I think what you guys are talking about is incredibly valuable right here. I don't think that competitors should actually weigh themselves. Maybe let your coach see it only as necessary for some technicalities, but people going into shows shouldn't weigh themselves. Shouldn't even look at the scale.
It's really just there for your coach to make changes to your diet and maybe some supplementation.
You shouldn't look at your own weight as you're going into a competition. Let your coach do it.
I tell clients all the time, like your scale weight is probably the most irrelevant metric that we're looking at.
Yeah.
But then I've got to also tell that to myself.
Yeah. That's why you get a coach.
I'm only human.
Easier, more easily said than done.
Well, it definitely gives you that long-term metric, though. Like, yeah, the scale week to week might not be important, but when you back out and look on a long timeline, the trending factor, the weight might play a role. But again, it just reminds me the scale is. I try to remind myself as a bodybuilder too, not to worry about the scale, because it's just like Paul says all the time. When you get on the stage, it's not like the judges are saying, well, who benches the most? Because that's going to count as some amount of points, you know? So it is what it is, but it's definitely a valuable tool. It's not a know-all, tell-all by any means.
Yeah, I would use it for maybe setting up someone. If I'm going to utilize a sort of carb cycle approach to use that as maybe one of the metrics to see how long it takes body weight to come back down to baseline after a high day, and just a few of those small metrics. And also year to year is probably a good one. Like for instance, if I said 2 years ago, in 2025, what am I going to look like and how much am I going to weigh in 2025? I'll be like, I'm going to be 280, 290, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm 250 again. I'm the same weight, but it looks a lot different. So then having that comparison of like 2023, 250 pounds versus 25, 250 pounds. I mean, the look doesn't lie. The added matter is there. And then all of a sudden the weight just becomes irrelevant. It's like, oh yeah, definitely. What am I worried about? Why am I so fixated on a number? So
it's just like me and Jackie. Like I'm a good example, and she's actually a prime example. Her at 140 right now, and me at 240 is a totally different animal than last year at 240 or 140. It's just complete. So you got to know what you're looking at. You got to have a little bit of nuance to what you're looking at with the scale, especially as a coach, because if you're relying on scale to judge, like, is this person working hard or you know, are we going in the right direction? You're really just missing the whole picture.
Absolutely. I'll have clients that will be with me for months and months and months, and they'll be like, I'm not really, you know, I'm still the same weight. Is this an issue? And I'm like, okay. And I'll just do a comparison of their first check-in compared to their most recent check-in. And I'm like, you tell me. And they're like, okay, never mind. It's just one very, very irrelevant metric when you are looking at all of the metrics. You know? So it's a really good subject just to talk about, because I'm sure that is probably one of the common mind games we all play with ourselves, right? Especially people coming up into the sport.
Yeah, we're inculcated as a society to almost our identity is tied to the number on that scale, and as bodybuilders, as we're looking for performance, we have to get rid of that.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, when was the last time anyone here had a BMI that didn't say we were horribly
obese? Yeah. It's a conflation of data that can be useful, like we said, for modifying diet and supplementation with how you look, and how we look is how we feel about ourselves in many ways. So it doesn't do you a service really to
I can imagine it's tough for women too, because their changes are so much smaller than a man twice their size. Especially like what a watery look like. Like I'm sure Amy, when she says like goes to a check-in, she's holding water, but it's 1 pound, where I could hold water.
No, it's like 5.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying. Like that's a rare swing compared to just body size.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, percentage wise. Yeah.
And again, that number can, like you know, Amy, right? So that number will trigger like, oh my God, this is happening too fast. This is bumping up, and I'm a little bit softer this week.
Yeah.
But again, like you have to look at what are the goals right now as well. Is that actually going to be beneficial, that little jump in weight, especially for female from a hormonal study point of view? How long have you actually been lean? And do we actually need to be a bit more aggressive getting away from that? And this is just a communication thing, right? Because it is going to be really mentally challenging, especially for females, because it is going to have a direct, very quick time sort of effect on hormones, and then cascading over into how that affects your mood and things as well, from one look, one day, or one scale weight to another. So I think guys, we're kind of just like, I'm fat again, big deal. It's probably less of a big deal, or like the more you compete at a higher level, or like Jackie, like I'm sure if you get a little soft, you're in the back of your mind, you always know, like I'm 4 weeks of dieting back from where I want to be. Like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
So just always having that in the back of your head, like I know I'm no more than just like a hard dig week away from getting rid of this bit of water.
Yeah.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like,
yeah.
Well, but that's something too. Like what Ryan was mentioning, I mean, especially when you compete, you get very praised for your extreme physique. So people comment on like, oh, you're losing weight. Like you look great. Like when's your show? You look amazing. When you're putting weight on after a show, like not once has someone ever said to me like, wow, you look great. You've put on weight. Not once. But when you start, when I start cutting for a show, like every person that comes in, right, except for my coach, every person that comes in the office, like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. What are you doing? And like, there were times like when I was like in between my shows, when I was so lean, people would be like, oh, you look amazing. I'm like, I look like death. Like, who are you looking at? Like, I look like Skeletor. Like, I mean, I would catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror and be like, oh my goodness. Like you can see the muscles in my face moving. Like, I don't look good, but people were like, you look so good. What are you doing? You look amazing. So that I think gets in the head of not only, of me for sure, but like of other competitors, because that's what people or society, like Ryan was saying, praise, whereas they don't praise the opposite. Like regardless of what the health is behind it, they don't know the health behind it.
It's a really good point. Everybody, like especially the general public that don't understand the nuances within our sport. Yeah, the extremes are the only things people pay attention to, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy's over 300 pounds. Now I'm watching. Oh my God, he's inside out peeled. Anything in between is like, man. No, they're not
right.
No one really cares.
Or they say like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, I competed and now I'm not. Like, it's not like anything is wrong, but like people who like they think that is maintainable, that level of leanness or that level of like shreddedness. When you compete, you know that it isn't. But the average person looking at you just sees like, oh gosh, they gave up. Like, no, like that was the extreme. Like, this is the livable.
It confuses people for sure. I don't know too many people, maybe in my world, like normal people, that like that shredded look. Like they'll obviously compliment me and stuff and say how gnarly it looks and stuff, but they're like, don't think I would want to look like that. I want to look hydrated.
Right.
Schwarzenegger had the best reply to that sort of sentiment ever. Like, I don't think I'd want to look like that. And he was like, You never will.
Don't worry. Good luck. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You never will. Not a problem for you.
Oh, I heard a competitor saying that they were talking on a podcast like, oh, like you take 90% of women would give anything to look like we do. And I'm like, no, they wouldn't, because we do it. So like they aren't willing to do it. And that's the difference. Like they might say that, but like it's not like they couldn't if they did the things we do. Like it is achievable for anyone, but it's not something you can get without effort. Like I said that to someone once, like this physique didn't happen by accident. Like this wasn't a mistake.
No, 100%. So one thing I get pointed out all the time is people ask, they're like, it must be a lot of training you have to do. People are so fixated on the training. I'm like, oh no, just forget about, the diet and just everything else that goes in place for a prep. They think it's small thing that we're doing.
Do you work out every day? That's what people always say, right?
Yeah.
Every day. And it's like, yeah. And I also, I also do it 10 weeks in a row.
Am I the only one too that gets like strangely annoyed when and I don't want to point out women, but when women say like, oh, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to accidentally become like bulky and muscular.
My biggest pet peeve of all time.
I don't want to look like you. Yeah.
It's like you're not going to accidentally just have like a perfect diet and a perfect training that stimulates all that muscle growth, and then you're going to blink the next morning and be like, oops, 20 pounds overnight. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, my favorite is people will come and be like, oh, do you do Pilates? I'm like, no, I lift fucking heavy weights. Like, good luck building any type of muscle as a woman doing Pilates and, like above your 4th decade of life.
We've talked about this before, but I used to get a lot of older guys coming to me saying, oh yeah, I used to be as big as you. I was like, they didn't, when you were my age, they didn't have the anabolics available for you to look like me. I mean, this is back when I used to juice a lot harder, but
There'll be some old guy who'll be like, oh yeah, my boy, he goes to the gym. He's about your size.
Yeah.
17 and he's about your size. And I'm like,
It's not.
If he is, you want to go and check your boy's secret medicine cabinet, because he is not getting big on mama's home cooking. That's
row upon row of Flintstone vitamins.
It's like my uncle says that all the time. I remember when I was about your age, I looked like that too. I'm like, what happened to the pictures, dude? I don't know.
I do enjoy those conversations though sometimes, because you can just be like, yeah, that's awesome, and you just be nice and entertain the conversation, because it's just innocent and it's just people showing interest. So I always try and just enjoy those little interactions. They're quite, I could be an asshole and I'd be like, oh great, yeah, what did you bench? And they'd be like, yeah, I benched whatever, like 305, and I'd be like, yeah, that's my warm-up weight.
It's funny. I remember when
shoot them down instantly, but no, it's nice. I think I do find it quite interesting, people's from that outside in perspective on the kind of weird life that we live. A lot of the same questions, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and we all look a lot different when we're not wearing like gym clothes, or for me, like scrubs. I'll show people pictures of me, like my check-in pictures, like from like a day before, and like, oh my gosh, that's you. I'm like, yeah, that was me yesterday. And they look at me and they're like, yeah, I could be SpongeBob under these scrubs. Like, you have no idea what I look like under these scrubs.
Yeah, I know.
They don't get it. So like they see you guys in the gym wearing your like warm-up shirts or a hoodie, and they're like, oh yeah, I know someone as big as you because they're fat. But like they don't know that you are like skinned out, diced underneath that hoodie.
Yeah, I'll go to work. I always wear baggy t-shirts and stuff with my morning job, and people wouldn't even guess that I'm a bodybuilder. It's like, just wait till the shirt comes off.
Right? Yeah, when people are like, you lift weights? I'm like, yes.
Sometimes don't you just want to you're in one of those moods and someone's like, do you lift? What do you do? I'm just like, I just want to strip off right there.
Yeah.
What kind of question is that?
Paul just tells people no.
From the show having to answer.
Some people ask Paul, like, do you lift? Do you go to the gym? And he's just like, no.
That's
Why
what
should I
you
start?
Born this way. You should start. Think I should.
Do you think I should?
people in
That's
public
funny.
are always saying to him like, oh, dude, you must lift a lot. He's like,
Yeah.
not really, every here and there.
I like that. Just fuck with people.
Yeah.
Paul is his own critic when he went back to lifting. Was it like 9 years ago now? Because he would do something, and I was new to it then. So like anything he would do, like it was beyond what a normal person was doing at the gym. I was like, wow, that's really good, man. You're really strong. Look at what you did there. And he, like, not once would he accept the compliment. He would just be like, you should have seen what I used to do.
Yeah.
He was his own critic. And he would do it. It was like Uncle Rico and Napoleon Dynamite. He's like, if you the coach should have put me in that game. I could throw the football over those mountains. I got him a shirt for his birthday years ago. It said, ask me how much I used to bench. He never wore it. I don't know.
That's one of the best ones. People are like, how much do you bench?
Mhm.
And then I don't. So I say, I don't.
Yeah. Huh?
What else is there? Like that's the only thing, right? What else is there?
Yes.
It's good though. These little interactions they do. It is entertaining, and most people are really nice about it as well. I think in general, even if people have no idea about physique sports, the general interest in it is usually like a nice positive thing. Like people are either interested or they're just like wow factor kind of thing. It's never like, have you ever had a gross kind of in-person response? Obviously online in the comments, but I don't think I've ever had an
People wouldn't be so bold in person.
Yeah, not
I
amongst
guess.
you guys. I don't think I would disparage any of you fellows about your ability to lift or bodybuild in person.
No, I can't say I have. No, I mean, I know, yeah, people are a little weird on comments on social media, or they're just plain out rude. But
Yeah, when they think that they can be anonymous, then yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Yes,
my
although that's true. There have been a lot of trolls who've made really horrible comments about me on the live stream, but
Yep.
not in real life.
Yeah, same. That's the internet for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
YouTube's the worst.
Yeah.
That's where I
Everyone's
get all
always
that's where I
super.
get all the man comments.
Yeah. Everyone's always so just like, go to the YouTube comments, like it's like pulling on a sweater fresh from the dryer, and it's just warm. She's like, let's go read some YouTube comments. Jackie looks like a man. Colin's got tits. All right, I feel good about
Amy is
myself.
Skeletor.
Yeah. Cool.
I was actually happy when those comments start coming, and I'm like, yes, like I'm getting ready. Like when people start thinking I look dead, I'm getting close.
The man comments really crack me up though. I'm like, seriously, I don't know. It blows my mind. Like,
It's
what did you
just-
do to yourself?
Yeah, who hurt you? Was it mother?
Yeah.
The comments today are great, by the way. I'm not in this chat, but thanks to everyone that's saying good luck and things.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of people wishing you well. Good.
Completely
Yeah,
beyond.
it's really nice. I'm just reading through it now. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
That's what it says. Aaron needs to hire Aaron as a coach for Aaron.
Yeah.
If I could tell myself the things I tell clients, it would.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the biggest
I
thing
try to remind
why
myself of that.
why even professional bodybuilders or people who coach other people still need coaches, because you don't make the best decisions for yourself when you're in it.
Yeah.
No, nobody's objective about
Yeah.
themselves. No.
Which is why it's like,
If you like coaching yourself, like I most of my coaching I coach myself, but I have a circle of people in which I can always, I'm looking like this, I'm thinking about doing this, I'm thinking about doing that. And that's where like Kurt steps in and he'll be like, okay, look, this is fine. Or he'll be like, maybe try this, maybe try that, maybe switch this. Same with Jared, same with Paul, all of you guys. And I can just, it's nice to make sure if you are going to do that, have a good trusting circle that you know are going to give you legit, unbiased, real feedback. And it goes a long way. But yeah, usually just a good coach that you've worked with for a long time and you've built that rapport, that trust, that's all the best athletes in the world, right? All the biggest, best Olympians, they've all been with coaches for like 5-6 years in a row, in most cases.
Yeah. It's strange how you can do it for other people, but when you're inside of it, you cannot do it for yourself. Like you can't make the right decisions. It's strange.
Very rare.
It's beyond bodybuilding too.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of how my relationship is with Paul. You know, it started off with him coaching me, you know, exclusively, and then now it's always kind of like split. But I allow him to basically do like 51%. Like, so if someone's going to make the final call, I just let them have the confirmation of things. And that's sometimes what I need is just the confirmation. Like someone confirming like, yeah, we are headed down the right track. Yeah. You're expecting the right things. You're not being unreasonable, Dave, you know, and works better that way. And then when you get to like 4 weeks out, who wants to be analyzing their own self when it comes to competitive nature?
Yeah.
You know, having someone you trust is as good as that. You trust them to make the right call. And if you find them to be competent, then you're better off doing that. That's one less workload you have to worry about. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No one wants to be hands-on with yourself for that last few weeks. Just full robot mode, follow plans, get the job done.
Exactly.
Right.
Just imagine you're in full on. I can't imagine in the last throes of a high level prep that you're in any way able to be objective about yourself. You're just like an animal.
I only know one person, one high level pro, Sassatari from the UK. But he is like the most chill, stoic, calm dude. Like nothing could throw him off. But you have to have that real like monk mentality.
It's very rare.
Super rare. I literally know one person that's ever pulled it off.
Yeah, maybe like Dorian Yates before him. And I still think with people like that, they would benefit potentially, even though they could do it themselves, and it's an amazing feat. Like I still think, you know, like if Dorian had a coach that he had like a 5-6 year relationship with, and he knew he could trust that person to be honest with them no matter what, like he probably would have achieved even greater heights than he did having to do it for himself. But still amazing that he did. Absolutely.
I'm sure he was still throwing information, you know, towards one of his friends. I'm sure he's still getting some sort of feedback. Like John Jewett, I watch all of his YouTube while he's prepping himself, and he's literally a couple days out being so dead on with his own coaching, but he's still confirming with Luke to look at things and am I correct? You know, you just need that confirmation. It drops your stress. You know you're headed down the right track and you're presenting the best package. So even the best of them that coach themselves, they have some friend looking at something.
Didn't John hire Matt for a whole prep as well?
I think early on, John Jewett built most of his size and worked with Matt for a long time. But I think as of now, John coaches himself. But from what I understand,
he has a solid team. Like he has a full team of coaches now in J3.
Exactly.
J3U are all solid coaches. So I think when you're in that position, it's ideal, right?
Yeah, and you need it because like I get to the position where if I was coaching myself, I would never be able to say I'm lean enough. Like I could be inside out peeled and still say you have a little bit here, a little bit more, and you'd be unreasonable. I'd ruin my look. I can tell you I would. So like I have to have.
Now that's a story I've heard before. People coaching themselves, ruining their look by over dieting and training themselves right into a show. I've seen that often enough for it to be a cautionary tale.
Even with people with coaches have gone through that, and they'll ignore the plans and do that extra 10-20 minutes of cardio,
and then not tell their coach. Yeah, like the opposite of sneaking the donut and not telling your coach.
The opposite, and it just it destroys people a lot of the times. It's one of those things.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I did it my second show ever. I did the Connecticut show, and then I did right after I did New England's, and I had 4 weeks apart. And I was completely peeled for the first show, and I pulled all my own fats for my medium days. I pulled all my fats for my low days, and I ended up putting like an extra 20 minutes of cardio a day. I was completely shredded, but it wasn't the best look. It just kind of ruined it at
Sabotaged
the end. Yeah, been there, done that. Learned my lesson for sure.
Did you have a coach at the time?
Yeah, Paul was coaching me.
Oh, he was, and he didn't tell you to do that, but you just kind of did it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So like our understanding now is just like I won't do those things. Like if I have, just let it be let him coach it.
Yeah, just let him do it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Trust me, I was shredded, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
Colin, how's your been meaning to ask you, how's your Reta experiment going? You still on track?
Oh,
with
yeah.
it? No hiccups?
Still on track. Trying to. I mean, I'm not using the scale like we were talking about. I'm just going based off of like how I look, how I feel. I feel like I'm in kind of a sweet spot. I'm at 2 milligrams still a week. I divided into 2 milligram doses over the course of a week. My wife's on the same dose. She's having good success with it as well. It's just it's like I joke, I call it willpower in a bottle. Like it really just takes the guesswork out of following a good diet. I was able to put on a pair of jeans yesterday that I wasn't able to wear, shit like that. That's how I'm gauging my progress. I was able to wear a pair of pants that I wasn't able to wear not too long ago. So
those are the best.
Yeah, it's going the right way. I'm excited to like just keep riding this wave. Hopefully I'll be able to ride it all the way to the point where I'm about as lean as I'd like to be, and then I can start working on looking like Aaron.
Okay. Yeah.
Aaron's like, yeah, it's not gonna happen, bro. See you never.
Now, Colin, you still have some.
Yeah, man, 100 pounds later, I might look somewhere.
It's a little bit more than just the retatrutide in. That's all I say. I do like it though. I microdose it because if I go up to those above 1 milligram a week sort of doses, then I find it just wrecks my appetite too much. Which you would think in a diet phase right now that would be beneficial, but I want to make sure I have the habit. I'll sit there working and 6 hours will go by and I would have missed 3 meals and not even. I'm like, oh shit! Like, what time is it? Like, and I'll just deliberately fast, like not deliberately, unintentionally fast. Yes. It just completely takes away the thought of food, which is fantastic for someone who needs that. So for me, the devil is in the dose. I do a very, very low micro dose, 250 micrograms, 2, maybe 3 times a week is kind of my sweet spot where I get the benefits of the blood sugar regulation, the nutrient partitioning. I don't think about food that much, but I can still eat and I can still time things and it's not wrecking me. But even at that dose, I do find that about half an hour, 45 minutes after my post-workout meal, I'm going hypo. Now, yes, my carbs and stuff right now are a little bit lower, but not something I usually deal with midday. And so its effects on blood sugar regulation is significant, pretty impressive. Yeah. And, that's a great thing if that's something you're looking for. But I'm going to run that experiment through the Rebound and in the off season as well with that microdose approach where I kind of see that playing a role the similar way that maybe a basal Lantus would kind of work, where that control on slightly increased nutrient partition and the blood sugar regulation without actually having to use any kinds of insulin, and just see how that goes. And also having that little bit of suppression on my food thought will help me not get too carried away in those rebounds and off seasons with food, because post-show that's probably the most challenging time for me to like, okay, I got to behave here. Half a slice of cheesecake is enough, Aaron. You don't need more than that.
That's exactly why I used it, was for managing my hunger after the rebound. Like I started the day I got off stage, I started the Reta to do that exact thing. And I've settled in a little higher than you, but I've tried 1 dose per week. I've tried every day. I've settled into just Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's 800 micrograms each administration, just by the way I had to dose it for the bottle. But nonetheless, it's worked perfect. And I've had to slide the scale, so like I had to be dosing once a week so I can get the appetite suppression a little stronger. Right out of the gate after the show, and then when I needed my appetite to come back, like right now, just breaking up that dose has been helpful. So I think you'll actually like it, because I'm starting to notice my digestion is getting better, surprisingly.
Hey, what's up, Joel?
Joel.
Aaron, I even miss Joel. So don't feel bad.
Literally, the last thing I watched last night before bed was Joel eating a burrito in 40 seconds.
What kind of dreams did that fuel for you, Aaron?
Strange dreams. Strange.
That's what the Reddit True Tide's for. You know?
When I'm getting deep in prep, my YouTube algorithm just shows me pictures of Joel eating stuff. So YouTube wants to ruin my prep for sure.
You know what? I will say, I think there's something comforting, especially when you are dieting, about watching someone eat to the point of like extreme fullness that you're like, oh yeah, I'm good. Like, nope, don't want to feel like that. I'm fine being hungry.
It's funny. It's like watching food videos either usually really satiates people or awakens their appetite. So for most people, it goes one way or the other. So I'll hear from some people, they're like, oh man, you made like, you know, like if I go like to Olympia, a lot of the bodybuilders will come on like, oh man, made my diet so easy. I got through prep just watching you eat. And then there's other people that are like, I can't do it. You just make me so hungry. So I'm like, it's funny how like, you know, the same stimulus can provide such a different response to people.
Do some people say that they make them very thirsty?
Never heard that one. Not with that terminology, at least.
Now you've mentioned that, when I do watch your food challenge videos and I see you just take a little sip of something in between these monster loads of food, I'm like, I do think I would just chug that entire juice or whatever. Like
There's strategy to it, I imagine. I don't know.
Yeah, so
I imagine Joel's playing like chess with those giant meals.
Yeah.
It's like strata, like layering the strata in the stomach.
What game?
When you come to Vegas, we have to do a challenge for the tube. We've got to do one together.
That would be fun. That would be fun to watch.
It's yeah. I try to think about what's going. Which I don't know if there's too many Vegas right now that I haven't done. We'll have a peek. It's like that, but it's like what Amy was saying. It's like that game, you know. It's like the squares fit into each other. I don't know what it's called, Tetris or whatever. Yeah. Fitting it all in, but I've listened for a while. We just want to hop back a while, but holy jump, it's Amy. It's -17 with the wind chill there.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
a chilly day in Denver. Yes.
That is cold. Like hot damn, that's cold.
Yeah.
Crazy. Man. Nuts.
-17.
What is that?
In degrees?
That is in Fahrenheit. That is in degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it is. It's like scary cold. We're supposed to get above 0 today.
No, is Aaron in Celsius? That would be like probably roughly about the same, like -20 or so.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's awful. I hate it.
I know Americans have a lot of units of measurement that don't make sense to the rest of the world, but I do maintain that Fahrenheit makes sense.
Yes.
If it's 100 hots, it's very hot. If it's 0 hots, it's very cold. If it's less than 0, I mean, like that. Do we even do that? It's gotta be very cold. Water boils at 100. I feel like it's the only one of our crazy systems that makes sense.
-17 Fahrenheit is -27 degrees Celsius.
Jeez,
that is cold. That's colder than the coldest winters I did in China. That's crazy cold.
Yeah, like that's cold, man. Like,
I'm definitely not coming to it.
It's like frost. You get frostbite with those temperatures.
Oh yeah. Well, like tomorrow, I think the high is supposed to be 10. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
How are you like compared to like the ocean level? Is Denver, Colorado, is that quite high, I guess?
Yeah, we're exactly a mile above sea level. So 5820, 5,820 feet above sea level, which to me is low because I grew up at 9,800 feet. So this is low altitude to me, but this is also why I don't live at 10,000 feet anymore because awful, like brutally cold.
This is why you can diet so well. You're like proper mountain folk.
No, I can't even imagine. Like, honestly, I had that conversation with somebody this week. I'm like, I cannot imagine what it'd be like to prep for the Arnold right now. Like even my assistant, she's like, "Oh, you'd be dead." She's like, you wouldn't leave your house. I'm like, because on prep, I have a heated scarf, like an electric heated scarf that heats up. I have hand warmers that are electric that heat up. I walk around with my emotional support heater, drinking hot water. Like people think there's cold water in this. This is hot. This is tea. This is hot water. Like even under normal circumstances, I'm cold. Like if I was prepping right now, I would no. I would be sitting here under a huge down comforter.
As someone who similarly runs cold, but is definitely not as lean as you and is not a woman and not in minus, 17-degree wind chill right now. Holy, yeah, I can, it would not be fun for a prep. Dang, like, geez, you'd be freezing your, well, I can't say nuts off, but you know what I'm saying?
Yep, freezing my tits off. It would be brutal.
Dave and Jackie, where are you guys located?
Right near Boston, Mass, like 45 minutes from Boston. So, yeah, we're like 5 degrees outside right now. So we feel it. We feel the
cold too. It's cold for you.
About the same with you, Ryan. About the same sort of temperature.
Yeah. It's pretty cold here today too.
Joel, you still in Thailand?
I will neither confirm nor deny, but I will just say it's definitely a lot warmer here.
It looks a lot like my old room. I knew my wife had a crush on you, but geez, that was quick. I've been gone 3 weeks.
What's with all the baby oil?
Aaron, how many times have you been to Walmart since you've been in the States now?
Every day.
Every day.
Love it.
Man, I'm at Walmart every day, regardless, and you know what I mean. So I can understand it being new.
Right? I've actually some mornings just gone there to do my steps. I'm like, do you know what? I'm just going to walk around Walmart and see what crazy things I can find or crazy people I can do. I'll just do 20-minute little walk around Walmart. It's nice, yeah. Everyone going about their. I mean, I have like a list of things. Like I have to go back. Well, today I'll probably go to. I think it's called Best Buy, the electronics place, right?
Yep.
Like a podcast microphone, but it's right next to Walmart, so I will probably find a reason to go back in there again as well. But I enjoy it.
Always a reason to go to Walmart.
I find a new aisle every time I go there. I'm like, I bought an air rifle yesterday. For no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, welcome to America. Yeah, welcome to America. Grab your rifle while you're at Walmart.
Loads of little goodies in there. So no, I do enjoy the kind of just walking around shopping vibes here. It's quite fun. Like the outlet malls here as well. They're cool. And yeah, and everything's super cheap. There's always something on sale. There's always bargains. It's great. So, and right now I need a collection of hoodies and jogger pants because I underestimated how cold it could get here in Vegas. But I don't want to talk about the cold after hearing your stories. So
yeah, we don't want to hear about it.
We're not allowed to
Vegas
hear
gets
it
cold though, especially for the desert. I mean, and they'll get snow occasionally in Vegas, or at least on the little peaks around it. Like it does get cold in Vegas.
yeah, they just snowboarding up there on the mountains, and apparently in the winter, I think they have to top it off a little bit of that fake snow, but it still gets snowy.
I went to Florida not too long ago, and those guys will put coats on when it's 60. Like to them, they'll have these big puffy jackets. I'm like, get out of here.
I was using the seat heat in my car when it was 90 in the dead of summer. So yeah, fair.
Guilty.
I just put my plow on in my shorts. So
I mean, even in the winter, we set our thermostat at 65. Yeah. We're both eaters.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite. I run cold. I could not imagine. It's nuts. It's funny actually, Ryan, funny you mentioned that. So one time I was in Florida and it was like a cold spell for Florida, but what I mean by that is it was like low 70s.
Yeah. Right.
And so I was actually I mean, hey, this is a Canadian guy, right? So I'm down at the beach, even though I hate the cold, ironically. And right, so it's like, it's in the winter, but it's like, getting dark, let's say 6 p.m. or whatever. So I'm getting gas at a gas station. I have a tank top on, again, like I said, the beach. but it was cool enough. It was probably getting like high 60s, whatever. This lady pulls up, and she is like distraught. And I'm like, okay. She's like, honey, sweetie, or whatever. Like, you need to get some clothes on. You're going to freeze to death.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately concerned.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you. Yes, absolutely. And meanwhile, I'm thinking, like, this is like a summer day. Like, what's going on?
They do. They put sweaters on when it's 70, and they can tell people who aren't from there because they'll have T-shirts on when it's 60. Like, I was had T-shirts and shorts, and it was like high 60s, and they're like, "You're not from around here, are you?"
Oh, well, after a week of it not breaking freezing, when it hits 40, like we'll be the same way here. Like, oh my gosh, like taking jackets off, like walking outside with no gloves on, like, like, and you guys too, I'm sure, David, Jackie, like, I mean, like, it's like when it would be March in Breck, when it was, at 10,000 feet, when it's like even like 38, you're like, oh my gosh, like who could ski in this? It's so hot.
Balmy.
Yeah, like you're skiing in shorts with like,
I don't break
it's what you get adapted to.
I don't break out the winter jacket until it's like 20 degrees out.
Crazy.
Then again, when I'm on prep and it's like 4 weeks out, it doesn't matter. I get cold. Like, I'll literally be going to bed. It'll be like 70 and I'm freezing because I got no body fat.
Yeah. Down
I am
comforter.
looking forward to coming down because this one of our bucket list things was do like a winter wonderland kind of Christmas in New York and surrounding areas and things like that. And now that we actually know a bunch of people down there, I've got a few friends and clients, and you guys down in Boston area, Ryan and Kurt in New York. So I'm like, okay, we're going to do the full, like the Miracle on 31st Street Christmas kind of
For sure.
this year. So I think that'll be quite fun. It seems like it's a good vibe down that way, East Coast, for the Christmas times, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you'll enjoy the people. We're a little rough around the edges, but
We mellow out for I don't know, like 3 to 4 days around Christmas time.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to visit the East Coast.
Noted.
Yeah.
That's cool. Actually, talking about all the shopping in the malls today, actually, I've got to go to what's it called? Trader Joe's.
Mm.
That's my new adventure today. That's my new. I've got to try out.
Hey, so you've never been?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It is so good there.
Gotta document your first trips to all these iconic American institutions.
Yeah, they will many packaged things. You know what I love at Trader Joe's though is the frozen products. Like I love getting the frozen Brussels sprouts and the baby peas. Like they actually have really good prices on frozen veggies.
Yeah.
And the teeny tiny avocados. I love getting those there too. They're
That's
just
so
so
funny.
cute, tiny. Yep.
Yeah.
And like half of them is like a perfect 40 grams almost always.
If we go there, it's specifically for the junk food.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Like you could spend like hundreds of dollars at Trader Joe's and like not even have any like real food to show. Like, yeah. They also, at least the one here, they sell the reduced fat Swiss cheese. Oh, so good.
So, all right then. So I'm going there today. What's all of your, let's say, what's your top 2 recommendations from Trader Joe's? And I'll make a list.
Are we talking on prep or off prep? You got to specify because it's 2 very
On
different
prep.
lists.
On prep.
On prep,
have any
teeny
suggestions.
tiny avocados and frozen veggies.
I would just stay out.
yeah, I suggest you stay away.
The seltzer water. They have great seltzer water that is unsweetened. The blood orange seltzer water.
What is that?
Bags of lemons. 2-pound bags of lemons.
Yeah.
Pickles. Actually, I don't like the pickles there. I don't like their pickles.
They have this black truffle cheese that I've never seen anywhere else, and it's freaking absolutely out of this world. It tastes
The
just
unconventional cheddar. Oh.
yeah.
Sounds good.
They have a really good cheese section.
That's kind of like what most people know Trader Joe's for is like they'll have some really like unique items and or like they'll bring out like certain unique flavors of items. So it'll be like fall season, so they'll have like 50 different pumpkin spice things. So it's like, then they'll like, like Ryan says they'll have like some kind of black truffle cheese or something, and they'll have some sort of signature popcorn or signature drink, and it's kind of like if you want those like I don't know, I don't want to say just seasonal, but like flavor, kind of semi-unique, exclusively flavored items. They do it well, and they'll combine it with like, put it in everything, salsas, and spices, and sauces.
It is the store for basic bitches.
We got to get Aaron a pair of UGG boots. You got to walk in with your Starbucks latte.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Well, I like the idea of the seasonal stuff because where I've been living, there's one season. Nothing, so,
At Trader Joe's, there's always a season.
I like the idea of a little bit of different variety as the seasons change.
What would it be like Valentine's season? Like what are they pumping now?
Oh, they have tons of Valentine's Day stuff, and then Easter.
Yeah. Winter, Valentine's, maybe Easter already. Yeah.
Yep. The Valentine's Day stuff.
Just
visualizing a heart shape.
Visualizing Aaron with like a pumpkin spice latte, this big jack dude with like a girly frappuccino.
Puffy jacket.
Yeah, little puffy jacket. Yeah.
Like bump into Michelle Branch on the
pants
music.
from Walmart.
I do like the sound of a pumpkin spice latte, though, to be honest. I might treat myself today. Can you get low-fat options here? Do they do low-fat options for that?
They've only got like
that.
16 different types of milk available at Starbucks. So
Unfortunately,
the milk aisle in supermarkets here.
Yeah.
How many? I thought there was like milk. I thought there was regular milk and almond milk. Apparently, there's way more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, just the amount of non-dairy milks.
Mm-hmm.
Like she does
I use rice milk all the time.
rice milk. We also do almond and cashew. It's like none of them are actually dairy. Like, but there's so many.
almond, soy.
Yeah,
oat.
we'll make our protein ice creams with cashew milk and almond milk, and then I'll use the rice milk when I gotta get more carbs in.
Nice. Ninja
Yeah.
Creamy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Aaron,
You got one, Aaron?
No, that's on my shopping list today. A Ninja Creamy, a microphone, and what was the other thing? An air fryer. And then I'm done. Sorted.
Yes.
Although I do enjoy having a real
One of my-
oven is a treat for me, but I still kind of miss the air fryer too.
Yeah. Must
Air
have.
fryer is convenient, especially for things like shrimp. Like love cooking shrimp in the air fryer. Throw them in there frozen. Like 8 minutes later, they're cooked.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited for that new Ninja Creamy that you sent me, Amy.
The soft serve.
My God.
Colin,
So-
pull that up. You got to pull up this bad Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ninja Creamy soft serve.
So now
You might want to wait, Aaron.
there's
Yeah.
like the
I
regular
don't know how to
part
do
to
that.
make the regular ice cream and the pints, but then there's a section where it's soft serve. Now, can you keep that going all the time, or do you have to like make it at once? Because if it's in there all the time and I can just go up to it and get my protein soft serve, that would be amazing.
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Service in, like
Yes.
the Mr. Winston soft
Yeah.
serves.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like the regular Ninja, and then there's a side that you can pull the lever and do like soft serve.
Yeah. It's not out yet, but
I can't get that one. I'll be
Right?
I can't do that.
No.
I'm just going to get the ones where you have a certain portion, it freezes
Yeah.
really hard, and you get that nice, really hard scoop. That's prep friendly. I might save that one for after. That is dangerous.
Well, those things are like so important to us, Jackie and I, that we literally have a second one in the box in the basement.
That's a bad
Just
one.
in
If it
case.
dies.
Oh, we did have one that broke, and we're like, luckily
Yeah.
we got the one downstairs. So once we started using that one, we bought another one.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah.
See, that's how I'm with my blender. I keep a backup blender because, oh my gosh, if my blender died, I'd be sad because I love my protein shakes. But actually, that's one of my best prep things that happened was that when the batteries died on my scale and I got the rechargeable scale, oh, like that has been the best thing ever. It has a battery backup, but like having a scale that I know will never die on me is awesome. I mean, unless it dies, but then
Redundancies. That's a robust lifestyle.
yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But hey, those Ninja Creamies are actually pretty reasonably priced here.
Yeah.
I bought them in Thailand from a buddy who was just moving. So luckily I got it for I think it was something along the lines of $150, something like that.
Yeah.
Like used. And it was the original model. Still works great. But I saw here you get I think it's like the Jumbo Ninja Creamy 7 or something. I can't remember the numbers or whatever it is, but yeah, brand new, everything all in, boxed up, good to go, like $200 or something. That's a bargain. use
Yeah.
that thing every day, that is a bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I must
is it
have.
Ninja, they also make like all the air fryers and blenders
Mhm.
and stuff. All right.
Yeah, we got like Ninja everything. It's my favorite brand.
Yeah.
Even my actually for Christmas I had her father got me, Jackie's dad got me all the frying pans, the Ninja frying pans.
So good.
Yeah, like the ceramic coated pans, they're the best.
Cool.
They're a little pricey, but they're so worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
these
had the,
blenders, like they're the best. Like
yeah,
better
I've had
than
the Ninja
NutriBullet.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had the Ninja blender for years. I broke a few over the years, but I mean, probably going back 15, 20 years at this point. Then when they originally brought them out,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like the original Ninja blender. And they're the best blender. I've used that to make like a creamy protein ice cream, but I've never had the creamy one. So you guys have me slightly intrigued.
Oh, dude,
That's a game changer.
It's
Yeah,
totally-
there's no comparison.
I don't know that I can think of a better like advertisement for Creamy than Dave and Jackie having a backup one on hand at all times. Like, I can't think of a better testimonial.
Yeah.
Like,
Code blue collar.
they should sponsor you for that.
Yeah. You should be the spokespeople for Ninja. Like today, I'm going to go out and buy everything Ninja. Like you should look it up.
My only, I got the Ninja air fryer. My only complaint is that I wish I had gotten a bigger one. So get the
dual,
big one.
you got to
That's
get
my
the dual one so
recommendation.
you can have two
Two
sides.
drawer one,
Yeah.
yeah, the two drawer.
I just saw that on sale in Walmart. The dual on two sides,
Mm-hmm.
$130. Ninja dual air fryer.
Yep.
Oh, it's worth every penny.
Right?
If you have the storage space for it, definitely go with the dual basket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so convenient. So we both can like get our meals ready at the same time. I can weigh my chicken out. He can weigh his out. Put in the dual. It's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, like being able to do veggies and proteins at the same time, also awesome.
Yeah, it's just bigger, so you can actually meal prep. Like you can, like you said, put shrimp in there. Throw a giant portion of food to meal prep. It's actually worth it, rather than like single servings.
Yeah, absolutely. Good meal prep hacks for the watchers and followers here for sure. Well, just in general, I think even if you're not in prep, I imagine you use all of these things all the time as well, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just really convenient.
Talking.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Joel. Go right ahead.
I was just gonna say though, I gotta say though, guys, I think one of the most underrated tools is that freaking microwave. You can cook anything in a microwave. Like you can cook chicken in a microwave, every kind of vegetable, like anything you can cook in a microwave. So I don't know, like I mean, don't get me wrong, air fryers are great, but man, I think microwaves get a lot of hate. I'm gonna bring back some love for the microwave. Microwaves are bomb.
You talking about cooking like chicken from raw to cooked in a microwave?
Yep.
No, thank you.
Wow.
No, I
Yeah.
can't do that.
But you know what? Microwave to just warm up meals, but when I came here, I realized you guys don't have kettles. You don't have plug-in electric kettles to boil water.
Oh, I do.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
They're not as common because we're not
could not
like
live without it.
big
It's
time
not a
tea and
yeah,
ramen drinkers, but I've got a kettle in my house because they do make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and when I was staying at Jared's place, they don't have one. I'm like, how do you guys boil your water? And they're like, well,
Yeah.
I put it on the stove. And then his sister said, well, I kind of just put the water in a mug and then put the mug in the microwave.
Never.
I think they still hang you in England for that.
I haven't
gotta love the microwave.
I'm doing that.
Well, Joel's got a point. You can't really like can't throw like your rice in the air fryer unless you put it in a bowl, and then the bowl's got to fit. Yeah, so that makes sense. Doing your oatmeal.
Yeah.
You got to get your
Yeah,
fancy
microwave
Japanese
works.
rice cooker.
Oh, we got a rice cooker, yeah. But I mean, like reheating it, you can't really reheat in the air fryer your rice. It's gonna taste different. It's gonna be all crunchy at the
Crunchy.
top, and
You have to put water in with it.
I just
So it kind of
always
steams it.
have rice going in the steamer or the rice
Yeah.
cooker. It's like just when it's no longer palatable, I dump it and I make more. So rice is so cheap. I don't want to have to microwave rice.
That's one way to do it. Just
I'm
constantly
better than that. Yeah, it's like I just pretend I'm like a Chinese restaurant. We just always have a steamer full of rice available. Honestly, like I grew up with a lot of Asian people, and their houses. That's just something they had. They always had rice like ready to go in the rice cooker, like at any time of day, and and a little container of MSG in the cupboard.
Yeah.
You ever try the microwave bags, like the little flavored, like cilantro lime microwave bags of rice? You ever
Those
try
are
that?
great. They're delicious. They just, I mean, they've got some added, a tiny bit of added fat, but aside from that, like, yeah, they're delicious and very convenient.
Yeah, we do like everything, and like, so Jackie and I once a week we'll get the rice cooker going for, like, we have the biggest rice cooker you could imagine, and we'll do probably 8-gallon bags of rice and just freeze them and then take them out, to rotate our food for meal preps. And same thing with the grilling, just grill everything and rotate a gallon bag of something that needs to get thawed out. It's already cooked.
Yeah, so once the chicken's getting a little low, you rotate out the new one, let it thaw.
Yeah.
Get a system.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because-
That's the way to do it. Saves so much time.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Yeah. Marty says he has MSG in his cupboard too. He married an Asian woman and she came with a rice cooker and MSG.
The perk of the marriage, I guess.
Speaking of food, I liked Lucas had a good question. What's like the weirdest combinations of food you ever had on a diet?
Oh yeah, let me pull that up.
I'll have to think about that one.
I can
I'm
tell
actually. Go ahead, Dave.
I'll just say mine quickly. It was and Jackie can attest because it was like torture to her. I would have every night when I was dieting really hard one time, my last meal was tilapia on steamed broccoli, just mashed up with avocado.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's
Doesn't
not
sound that
weird,
bad, though.
but it smells horrible.
Yeah, that doesn't seem weird at all. Yeah.
Don't eat that.
I've actually started eating my favorite prep meal again recently because I love it so much, but it is weird. So I take pumpkin puree. I do pumpkin puree, chicken breast, blueberries, and a little bit of yogurt, salt and cinnamon. It is so delicious.
Great.
So good.
Do you have it hot? Wait, do you have it like hot or cold?
Cold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
cold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Oh, it's so good. Oh.
Who's messed up the screen here? Colin, what have you done with the screen?
I don't know. I'm just pushing buttons, man.
Get your shit together.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Where's Paul?
He never should have put me in this position.
Colin and Amy show today.
Flavor combinations, though. In a prep, I really like strong flavors. So I lean towards, like, if I've got, I'll match macros a little bit on a high day for like a cream of rice meal, but I'll only use half of it as cream of rice and the rest of the carbs I'll put things with different textures. So I'll do like 10 or 20 grams of Cocoa Pops, and then I'll do 10 grams of something else broken up in there, and then a rice cake. So I have all these different textures all mixed up together because I like texture and the volume of kinds of foods.
It's
That
interesting.
makes sense. Yeah.
Have you
Strong
tried?
flavor. Have you tried Marmite? Do you know what Marmite is?
Oh yeah, I've had Marmite.
Vegemite. It's known as Vegemite in Australia. It's just like
Yeah, I'm just not common on what it is. I've heard of Vegemite.
It's
super, very strong, very bitter flavor. So
what do
when
they
it
call
comes
that? Kind of nice.
Yeah, it's a fermented yeast preparation.
Yeah. It looks like tar.
Very salty, very umami flavor.
Aaron, have you tried the Can't Believe It's Not Butter spray?
the spray, no, I've just discovered pan.
So the Can't Believe It's Not Butter spray is probably my favorite like American item because it's like, so it's a, I don't know, like 40% oil, buttery tasting spray. So you can basically put it on things that, so it makes it taste like butter, adding insignificant amount of calories. And man, like that on like sweet potatoes or pumpkin or even like rice or anything, you know, broccoli, like vegetables, dude, that with like some salt or potassium, like salty, like the fake salt or something like that, it's like game changer.
That sounds awesome, honestly.
I'll literally show it. Stay 1 second.
We live
they isolated the flavor of butter in that shit. So like it's really the flavor of butter that is like setting you off, like, oh yeah, it tastes like butter, but like it doesn't have to have the calories.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can buy like the popcorn seasoning butter.
Go to Walmart in the like butter aisle, kind of by the milk aisle, and buy this. It's like that's $4 for $4 or $5. What? They per like up to 5 sprays they call it calorie free, and then at 5 sprays I think they call it 5 calories.
Because I was looking for something to spray on because here I found you can buy bags of little chopped up sweet potato cubes. And I like to put them in an air fryer, but I like to have something to spray on there to make them nice and buttery and crispy.
This is not for cooking. This is for flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is
When you're at Trader Joe's, get the coconut oil spray. It's just coconut oil, and just a teeny tiny spritz of that will crisp up your potatoes.
Yeah, but is it 0 calorie? Because that's 0 calorie.
Well, but is it?
right.
It's very minimal.
Yeah.
Coconut oil, on the other hand,
But
usually is
after
Yeah,
you
the
cook
coconut
your
oil
sweet
says 0, but
potatoes-
it's not either.
after you cook your sweet potatoes or cook whatever, your vegetables, this with like some salt and or even a little sweetener, game changer, best thing in the world right here.
Yeah, and the five
Okay.
sprays you're gonna put on, it's plenty. Like it's gonna taste like you just buttered your potato or toast or whatever.
Oh, that sounds great. I mean,
Yeah, I live off of it.
I'm sold.
America.
Today's shopping is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
You got to do a YouTube video of you and your experiences in Walmart.
I know.
I was thinking because we have like a GoPro attachment or something. I'm trying to think of the best way I could maybe film that today. Maybe I can just clip my phone on the edge of the car.
All right.
So it's filming me shopping. Maybe I'll do one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little Sam Sulik kind of action. Just put
Is
it
that
right
what
on.
he does?
Yeah, he'll just do his shopping. He'll just put it on the cart where you put the babies. You know, they put the children little seat, and he just puts his phone right there.
Huh. Okay, yeah, I'll do that today then. I'll do a little filming around Trader Joe's and Walmart.
I love it.
You know,
Shall we answer some questions here before?
For sure.
Sure.
do it.
Got a few.
This has been a food podcast so far.
I know.
Sorry.
I thought I promised that we would talk about bodybuilding some today.
Just go to
I will-
the gym, bunch of food, take a couple shots, and you're good. That's it.
So Wolf wants to know if for an enhanced male, if there's any need to take any fats other than fish oil. He doesn't see the need to eat any nuts, oils, avocado if they're non-essential. I guess like there's no technical need for you to.
Yes,
But-
there is. Stop.
Oh.
Stop right there. That's wrong. Because so you need what is it? You need actually like the 1 omega-3 and the 1 omega-6. Those are the only 2 essential. Fish oil is actually not essential because you can create DHA and EPA by yourself, but we make it in so small amounts. That's why we supplement it. So it's like alpha linoleic acid and oleic acid or whatever, but it's those 2, the 1 omega-3 and the 1 omega-6, which are actually the essential, essential fatty acids. So yes, you need those 2 fatty acids, those essential amino acids, not just fish oil. Fish oil is a great supplement, but you need what is it? Alpha linoleic acid and oleic acid, whatever. When you Google,
You're going to get a lot of that from nuts and the seeds.
Flax seed oil.
flax seed's the best. Yeah.
I was gonna say the only time I've ever seen anybody only live off of fish oil pills is Paul on a very small portion of one of his preps. So, well, yeah,
Because-
I certainly wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, the benefits of whole food. I mean, food in nature is not an isolated nutrient. So when you're taking a supplement, you're isolating a specific nutrient, but the benefits of something like a Brazil nut that has selenium and other fatty acids as well, like there are benefits of eating food in its natural whole food form that go beyond, above and beyond just the isolation of that nutrient. So is there a benefit? Yes. I mean, could you survive without it? Yes. I mean, Paul is proof of that. You can survive without these other combinations, but are you going to get the most benefit out of it? That's why having a balanced diet of getting some, avocado is also super high in fiber. You're getting other things at the same time while also fulfilling your need for some of these essential fatty acids.
Right.
Yeah, so it's the essential omega-3 is alpha linoleic acid, and then the essential omega-6 is linoleic acid. And if we're talking about Paul also does flaxseed oil. And then he gets trace amounts of fats from his meats. You know what I mean? That he doesn't overly.
And he eats nuts. He eats walnuts
Yeah.
and other types of nuts as well. You know, because
Right.
there's
Yeah,
benefit
literally
in
the
the
only
whole food
it
form.
was a brief period of one of his preps where he needed to pull all or adjust an acid and pull all of his fats except for that which he was getting from fish oil pills.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever seen somebody live like that, and it was for like a portion of a week, maybe.
And it's just extreme things, right? It's these absolute extreme one end to the other kind of like options. It's just, you don't need to be that extreme. I mean, bodybuilding is extreme enough, but just think about this. Find any athlete, any good, really good, healthy, very high performing athlete that lives on those extremes like that. They don't exist.
That's right.
There's a reason why people eat whole food fats.
Yeah, and
It's a supplement, not a replacement.
yeah, and I think you gotta. I'm always one to step back and look at why you're asking the question the way it is too. Like if you're looking at it as in the sense of like I'm an enhanced athlete, I don't need the fats to regulate my hormones because I'm getting them from a needle. I understand your concept, but anytime you're straying away from a balanced, diverse diet to get more restrictive, just doesn't make sense on the face value of that. So you're gonna, like Amy says, it makes a whole lot of sense. Avocado, it's gonna have fiber, it's gonna have other nutrients that you can take that are covering many different bases, not just the fat. So if you're looking at just the fat, I understand what you're saying, but there's many other benefits to having fats in your diet, whether you think you need them or not. And if you're trying to pull calories, there's many sliding scales. If you got no more carbs to pull on a certain day, or you need gym performance and you want to find a caloric deficit somewhere else, I can understand fats, but it can't be permanent. You know, it really shouldn't be permanent. You're going to find you're going to lack somewhere else for sure.
Right.
Agreed.
Survivability and thrivability are very different. I mean, you're
Excellent.
Most diets that I've seen, the protein and the fats in particular, stay pretty stationary, and it's the carbs that are really getting played with. So
Yeah. And if you become metabolically adapted so quickly where you have no more carbs to pull fat, and now you're pulling away from your fats and you're getting like 200 grams of protein, you might need to reverse diet, or you might need a diet break. You might have actually just came to a point where your body's so adapted to losing body fat where there's no more calories to pull. You're going to damage something somewhere else. Like Aaron says, you can't redline all the time, you know, so.
I always feel like that people are always going towards supplements before having a well-balanced diet. It's like, no, have the well-balanced diet and then just look at your blood work and everything and see exactly what you need to supplement with. So,
Yeah, sure.
good advice.
yeah, supplements should be just that, a supplement, not a replacement.
exactly.
And eating food is great. It's way more fun than taking supplements.
Right.
Yeah, probably cheaper.
Enjoy your food. It's cheaper as well, probably.
Oh, definitely.
They can actually like look at your cell membrane and look at like your fat stores in your body too, and actually tell like what kind of fats you've been eating, which is super interesting. And I guess so. If someone has like a super high diet and saturated fat for a very extended period of time, I guess like the adipose tissue is firmer versus if it's a lot of like monounsaturated fats that you're like adipose tissue is comprised of, it'll actually be softer, I guess. So pretty interesting. I don't know if you ever get lipo stuff, apparently they can tell. So
Yeah,
Amy,
our cells are all surrounded with a phospholipid bilayer. So phospholipid meaning it's a fatty layer. So the ability of things to cross that barrier are really important, but also those cells can glycate. So if the cell wall is made up of kind of some junky fats, it's easier for other things like sugars to attach to that and make it impossible for any nutrients to get in or out of the cell. And the cell then becomes basically non-functional. So, you know, when we eat food, we're literally giving our body the things to build. And can people survive on very supplement heavy diets? I mean, what was Soylent was supposed to, you know, be able to replace all food that humans consumed. So yes, can we give a person in a coma a nutritive diet without them consuming anything? Yeah, but like it will absolutely have a negative impact on the way their cells function within the body when they're not getting a broad spectrum of food and a good diversity of things. Like there's just a chemical supplement or a supplement is never going to give you the same result. It's like building something out of just really poor building materials. Can you still build a house? Yeah. Is it going to be a good house? This is the Three Little Pigs.
Yeah.
Don't build your house out of straw.
That's a great point, Amy. And then the result of what you're talking about when we're blocking the cell function is like extreme fatigue, lethargy, and just it's just your health just goes down the drain.
Yeah, well, you just the effect of all those free radicals and other things that then your body has to deal with and try and clean up. I mean, you're making your body work harder than it needs to with not a good result.
Mhm.
Well said.
Yeah, smash that one. Knock that one out the park.
Eat a diverse diet,
A lot of
whole foods, not just supplements.
What else
Right.
we got? Any cool questions? Come on, Colin. What are you doing?
good questions. I'm gonna find one that'll stump Aaron. We've seen this one before, but Barn is asking, is it okay to do an aggressive cut and lots of cardio to lose 10 to 20 pounds? He says if he's on TRT, he doesn't feel as though he would lose muscle doing this. What do you guys think?
Is he obese?
Right.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot more to that.
Percentage.
What are we
Yeah,
working with?
It's a good point. Well,
I think if you gotta again ask, why am I asking the question? If you're a MMA fighter trying to drop 10 pounds in a week to get into a weigh-in to get on, to compete, that's one thing. I think that there might not be something so bad about that in a short period of time. But I mean, if you want sustainable, so you don't have sustainable fat loss, sustainable weight loss, 10 to 20 pounds, unless you want to do that all the time because you're going to rebound, slow and steady is going to win the race, in my opinion. And if you think that TRT is going to save you from losing muscle, it's going to aid, but I'd actually look at your diet first. I mean, if you don't have the appropriate protein, as well as like you're not having a stimulus in the gym that's going to retain muscle, then those are other things that are just as equally as important as your hormones too. So
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
If you're really high in body fat, like if you are like pretty fat, even just that sustainable, slow, steady diet approach, like what's going to be beneficial for you, initially will result in probably quite fast body weight loss anyway, because you've got plenty to lose. So you might find you don't need to be aggressive to get a good chunk of weight off. You just need to be locked in and consistent with a diet that's working.
Yeah. It's like Paul says too, but a lot of the lessons Paul teaches us, but everyone, it's natural to look for a shortcut, but a lot of the times they're not going to be your permanent answer, in 10 to 20 pounds of what? There's
a difference between losing weight and losing what you're probably hoping to lose, which is body fat.
Absolutely.
You can lose water, you can lose lean body mass, you can lose body fat. You want to be careful about what you're losing, what you're retaining. And this sort of approach tends to be a fishing with dynamite approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Go
Go ask one of the top pros. Go ask Keon, if he can lose 20 pounds and lose zero muscle in a month. Because if that was the case, his prep would be really short for the
So, hopefully that helps, Barn.
Yeah, slow and steady, buddy.
Absolutely.
Maybe Ryan has a answer on this one. What's a good melanotan cycle? Or
Oh, jeez.
Don't take a whole bottle at once.
Whatever.
From experience.
Don't mistake it for your HGH and take a whole.
Whatever doesn't give you raging hard-ons 24/7.
Unless that's what you're after. I don't know.
Yeah.
For a beginner, I guess I would recommend probably 250 micrograms. Just start with that per day. Wait and see how dark you get, and then adjust the dose. If you want to get darker, obviously a little more. And then once you find the tan that you like, you could probably just back off. You don't have to do it every day. You could do it every other day or whatever to maintain that level. But when you first start out, go ahead and again, start with 250 micrograms a day till you find the level of darkness that you like.
Perfect.
It's actually tolerance as well. Because the side effects of melanotan, I'm a total lightweight. I'm so sensitive to it. I'll take 100 micrograms and I am ruined. I'll take it before bed because it's so uncomfortable.
Oh
Yeah.
So I can take it before bed, and I think it has around about 33-hour half-life, so it's still going to be active and working. But I can't do it in the mornings and then go outside and do some tanning or whatever, if that was the case, or steps, because my stomach is wrecked. absolutely wrecked, and I blow up like a giant sweet potato. It's just, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I get really, really bad side effects from the time.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, and everybody's different. Yeah, so I mean, that shows you everybody's different.
Well, that's some people use it for maybe it's melanotan 1 versus 2. I'm not too familiar, but they do use it for appetite suppression. So, I mean, and that can be something that varies totally different from person to person. That response specifically, you know, kind of like give you a good example, like GLPs. Some people have a reaction where they just don't think of their hunger levels, where other people are feeling sick where they don't want to eat. So there's two different reactions causing them not to eat. So if he's asking for tanning, Ryan's the one to ask. But for if it's appetite suppression, I guess just be careful. You don't want to feel like crap all day either.
Yeah. 100%.
Let's see, a quick one from Jason. He's 47 years old and he wants to know what a good everyday supplement stack is. What are you guys taking every day?
Loaded question. Jeez.
I don't think he's asking about the secret medicine cabinet.
real quick, so everybody. Sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna head out, but I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the lovely stream here. Thank you so much for allowing me to join, and
thanks so much for coming.
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. We'll see y'all soon.
Yeah.
Bye, Joel.
Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of that's a tough question. You got to ask a little better, Jason, to be honest, because like it's again the word supplement. So like, what am I in need of?
It's tailored to you.
Amy's not going to jump on Aaron's health supplement stack because he's using those for a different requirement versus what Amy would need them for, or just any one of us, interchange any one of us, you know.
There are some basics though, I mean, that I would recommend.
Right.
Like fish oil, I actually would recommend most people supplement with.
Fish oil or flaxseed oil, right?
Yep. So
Either
some type
or.
of essential oils or essential fatty acids, is one I would recommend. Vitamin D is another one for most people. If you live north or south of the equator, you should probably be supplementing with vitamin D, especially in the colder winter months. I mean, those are two main ones. Vitamin C, because it is a water soluble vitamin and is really depleted easily by oxidative stress. For athletes, that's when I would like those three. If I was to say the top three, EFAs, vitamin D and vitamin C would be like my baseline stack for somebody.
Amy, would you suggest like for someone at his age, 47 years or older, that's maybe in the bodybuilding world, like vitamin K2 for like the calcium plaque buildup?
Yep, for bone health too. Yeah. Yeah, and that's a lot of your D combinations will have K2. So D3, K2, like doing a combo one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I always recommend everybody take a multivitamin. I'm just for the robust vitamins and minerals that it offers, and you can get a little bit of everything.
I agree. I feel like there's no harm in tossing.
A lot of them now are really good, and they'll come with a good profile of all of your trace minerals as well. Some of them have like added phyto blends in there, so you get quite a good bang for buck for like just general input. But I mean, it comes back down to what you're doing. At 47, are you still competing? Are you still running cycles? Are you, what are you doing? What does your life look like? What does your nutrition look like? How many of those boxes are already being ticked? So,
like pre-existing issue possibly that you're trying to supplement and aid over time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Creatine. I saw that pop up. I don't know who said that, but like creatine's another one that has really no toxic upper limit. So those are things you can pretty safely add into for anyone.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Glutamine, like that list goes on, right? I'm sure we could just sit here and keep thinking of things. Like, do you know what? You might as well just take it.
That's what Sharp Home Solutions said.
Yeah. What's your favorite tree?
Yeah.
Plenty of testosterone, plenty of Anavar, plenty of growth hormone.
Yeah, they're all essential amino acids, right? I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say one in particular that I really love, though, is taking powdered collagen. That's excellent for your joints and your skin and everything. When it comes to collagen, you see people always using like masks or moisturizers that have collagen in it. And honestly, the molecule of collagen is too large to absorb in your skin. So the only best way to do it is to absorb it by taking it. So
I love
do you try and get like a combination of like a type 1, type 3 sort of collagen peptides, or specific ones for specific reasons? Or do you just kind of a good quality?
Yeah, I know the one that I have has both.
Yeah, it's like a spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a
I
lot of
always do.
peptides too now that you can utilize for collagen synthesis as well. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Amy.
Oh no, I do a beef gelatin powder and a collagen peptide to get both. And it's a little bit old school to do the gelatin powder, but I find that it has a little bit different nutrient profile that is beneficial. And some of the collagen peptides, especially if you're not getting a really high quality one, are pretty denatured. And I wonder about the bioavailability of some of these collagen peptide powders. But the beef gelatin, like, if it doesn't gel, like, it's not real.
I like to do
are really good, to add to your food. Just good quality bone broths and things like that will have quite a good profile of those things.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I like to do Vietnamese pho soup for a cheat meal.
Bro.
Yes.
Just bought some. You can buy that in cartons here.
Yeah. Oh,
dude, the whole thing of chicken in bone broth. Oh,
yeah.
My God. It's so good.
That's actually not a bad idea. Never thought about just getting some broth and keeping it in the fridge. Why not?
Yeah, I just got a whole carton of it in the fridge all the time, and I'll have sometimes I just like a nice warm cup of broth. Yeah. Or I'll put a couple of cups full in one of those glass dishes, throw a bunch of chicken breast in there.
Yeah.
Well, I see Chase does on his channel, or he done maybe a year or two back when I was watching one of his videos, but he'll do his rice, his beef, whatever his meals are for the whole day, but he ends up putting just like a cup of broth in each meal. And that's just how that's his flavor. That's collagen for him. The low sodium one he'll do. And actually sounds good.
Great idea. Yeah. And then tie that along with, some growth hormone and Anavar, which are great for collagen synthesis, and you're gold.
Yeah. That's what those pill containers are on the top of your shaker. You just put a little bit of your essential amino acids, a little bit of that. All fits.
What else we got here?
Let's see. One last question here. Steve Taylor, what are the safest anabolics for someone who is very prone to acne? He's currently on 200 milligrams of test with no problems, but he'd like to add a little bit more for contest prep.
Keep leveraging that test a little bit at a time.
It's the acne is caused by the change in hormones, not the hormones themselves. So when we're fluctuating, when we keep adding this or taking this away, and it can come from the reduction of hormones too. So like back in the day, when we used to cycle on and off, like everybody would get acne when they first went on their cycle, and then they'd get it again when they come off and do PCT. And it can last a while too. So it's not like you have to stabilize your levels for many months for the acne to start to abate. So when we used to do 12, 20-week cycles, like the acne would never stop because the acne would last from when you first went on. And then when you come off, you get acne again. So you'd always have acne. So it's more about the stabilization. So find something that you can stabilize, find something that works for you, that you can just stay on and don't fluctuate, don't change compounds. And then the acne should abate over time.
I think injection frequency plays a role there as well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like most side effects, the more frequent your injection frequency is, the better off you're going to do on side effects in general. Also look at quality of your gear. Some people don't agree with certain carrier oils. Also, some people are just more prone to acne than the next person. Some people, it doesn't matter. They can jump right on a gram and they're fine,
Yeah. I think bring up the hygiene component. I don't mean this in a negative way, but as competitors, we do tend to be in sweaty gym clothes from time to time, or just, if you are cold and layering up, even just that abrasion on the skin can kind of just let those skin cells kind of build up. So making sure you're exfoliating and maybe even doing some topical, hypochloric acid, something that's, if you can't shower right away, keep that in your gym bag just to spray on the areas that, you're prone to acne to kind of help kill some of the bacteria, or a silver gel or something that kind of can kill some of that topical bacteria. If you can't shower right away would be another thing I'd definitely try.
Right.
Yeah.
And also keeping tabs on your diet, where making sure you don't have too much dairy in it. So
yeah.
I think you nailed it, Aaron, too. Actually, just instead of worrying about adding something different, maybe try to top out that testosterone dose.
And like he said, the slow addition. So if you're going to change your dose, or then try to make it slow and gradual, so that your body's not shocked by that sudden hormone change.
Yeah.
That's what like drops your immune system. Then bacteria is allowed to proliferate on your skin, and that's what's actually causing the acne.
Mm.
100%. I mean, what did he say? He said he was 47, right? So at 47 years old, what are you doing? Are you I think, what was that, a different question? I can't remember.
I think that might have been a different dude
Yeah,
who was 47. Yeah.
But yeah, either way, the same thing applies. You know right now test is good and it's not causing side effects. Stick with your test. Test is best. Keep leveraging it as much as you possibly can. And if you end up very gradually just building that up, keeping those serum concentration levels as steady as possible, fluctuations.
Keep an eye on your estrogen as you're increasing your test.
Yeah, absolutely. Do your bloods. You'll notice. You'll get early warning signs that you may, little side effects. And then you only that maybe that 50 megs higher than where your body likes it, and you can come right back down again. So slow and steady wins the race there. And if you get away with it, you might end up finding yourself in that 400 or 500 milligram range, in which case you're super physiological and you're going to probably look great and get great results off just that. And you're not going to need to leverage anything else.
Yeah.
So, make the most of your lowest hanging fruit first, for sure.
That's very good advice. Well, we are fresh out of questions, y'all. I really appreciate everyone showing up for the podcast today. I know our fearless leader is off sunning his balls in Miami, but y'all showed up, and I appreciate you very much. Yeah, I know it's not -17 where Paul's at right now. Son of a bitch.
There's palm trees and sun.
But the natives have jackets on.
Thank you all so much for stopping by, and thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you all got something out of it without Paul here, but yeah, really appreciate it. And we'll see you all next week. Should be same time as usual.
Thanks, everyone.
Guys.
Bye.
Take care.